们，欢迎收看电影娱乐吧，我是巧玲。今天呢，一身牛仔装和我这副眼镜，为的就是要向《金牌特务》第2集来致敬。时隔2年，鬼才导演马修·范恩带着更强大的卡斯、更夸张的武器回归大荧幕喽。这次呢，新片是充满话题，除了擅长暴力美学的导演居然破例再接续集之外，主角之一的柯林·福斯神奇回归也是一大重点。而曾经获得大满贯影后的朱莉安·摩尔要挑战有点神经质又带有公主病的反派角色罂粟姐，也是呢让人相当的期待。除了原班人马，另外包含像是荷莉·贝瑞、查理·坦图等等重量级的演员都加入演出来互飙演技。而这一次呢，金士曼特务们将会与来自美国的谍报组织合作。当英国绅士遇上了美国西部牛仔，会擦出什么样的火花呢？精彩内容一起来欣赏幕后特辑。
Eggsy, I saw in you what someone once saw in me, something that can't be taught. The makings of a Kingsman. Being a Kingsman is more than the clothing we wear or the weapons we bear. It's about being willing to sacrifice for the greater good. I hope you're ready for what comes next.
End is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. For what is a man? What has he got, if not himself?
Oh my God, fuck me.
He does have quite a lot of room to maneuver because it's comic book. You know, the tone of the film buys him a lot of sort of, you know, people's, I suppose they'll forgive a lot of implausibility. We have bulletproof suits and, you know, polonium laced knives coming out of shoes, and which you wouldn't be able to get away with if the film were more earnest. So I think the kind of larger than life comic book flavor meant that you can get away with quite a bit more, but you can't push that too far.
Bringing Harry back could have been very divisive. It could have put as many people off as on. And I kept trying to explain this to Fox as well, saying, guys, we can't have the Bobby Ewing, hello, that was all a dream, coming out of the shower moment. And we have to handle it in a way and respect the audience, that we're not just making it up for the sake of it, and do it in a way that the audience can accept. And so far they have been. Although it's been very sweet, a lot of people have said, we don't care how you bring him back, he's back, and that's all that matters. But I had to do, I really, you know, when we wrote it, we were just very much trying to be as sensitive about it as possible and making sure it felt real, and I think it does.
I did have a feeling this was going to work in some way. I even had a feeling that it was possible that it would work spectacularly. So it didn't astound me that people responded the way they did. There's a feeling in the air sometimes. It's very, very rare. But there is sometimes a feeling in the air when you're making a movie that this just has that extra, there's a kind of electricity. You just know that the imagination, whether it be the director of photography, the designer, they're working on a particular level. And so I just I would have been astonished if it had not hit the spot.
So, Eggsy, what do you do?
I work for Kingsman, the tailors, Your Highness.
I must say you are really not as I expected.
英国绅士
Oh, yes.
Welcome back.
结盟美国牛仔，
Welcome to Statesman, independent intelligence agency.
As your American cousins,
How can I help you?
Got a bit of a save the world situation here.
Say goodbye to the Kingsman.
we follow the Doomsday Protocol.
Let's get started.
That'll make you want to slap your mama right there, boy.
金牌特务导演马修·范恩，
Brains, skills, skipping rope.
It's a lasso.
Whatever. The richness of the world he created in the first one in terms of, overseeing all of the design and the culture of the Kingsman and the history of the Kingsman. The world expands in this one. It becomes more international. What is staggering is, if anything, it feels richer. The world that we discover through the American side of things is every bit as fully realised and as detailed and as nuanced and as stylistically defined as the first one.
Eggsy's now very much the new Galahad in his own way, and he's a super spy. And then, you've got to, in movies, you've got to make things difficult and give them problems. So I felt the easiest problem to do is just wipe out Kingsman. So he's, and find out how good an agent he really is. And then that sets them on a whole new journey of survival, as well as discovering that Kingsman is not the only secret organisation of spies out there. And then that's why they meet the Statesman, and the Statesman and the Kingsman join up to save the world.
Fucking hell, man.
You know, my mama, she always told me, us Southerners get our good manners from the British. And I was thinking, ain't that a pity? Y'all ain't keep nothing for yourself. Y'all ain't never heard of knocking for you, Henry.
Well, actually, we had an invitation, didn't we?
Yeah, how did you now?
Yeah, it came in the shape of a bottle. We're from the Kingsman Tailors shop in London. Maybe you've heard of us.
Oh, the Kingsman? Yeah. Huh. That's where y'all got them fine suits and them fancy spectacles y'all got on.
Exactly. That's right.
Y'all look damn sharp. Let me see if I got it right here. You want me to believe that it's normal for a tailor to hack through an advanced biometric security system with nothing but a little bitty old watch on? I can promise you, that dog don't hunt. So why don't you go on and get down on your knees and tell me who you really work for? They're an independent intelligence agency, but they like to drink. I think where the Kingsmen like to dress, they like to dress impeccably and have a really beautiful martini. The Statesmen like denim, and they like wearing cowboy boots and bourbon. So they're I think like-minded, but very, very different in how they see the world.
I started doing my research, and I researched Kentucky and bourbon and the difference between bourbon and Scotch whiskey, and I thought, my God, this is just writing itself, and the script with the fact that it's whether drugs should be legalized or not, and alcohol and the drugs industry. And I found out that the alcohol industry spend more money making sure drugs are never legalized in America. And I thought, oh, hold on, this is just becoming its own thing. And I also loved the idea that these guys were billionaires, like typical Americans, that if they're successful, they're 1,000 times more successful than the Kingsmen, that in the end they're still making suits and struggling probably to make a living as a tailor, but these guys are making a fortune of having the huge, alcohol. They're alcohol barons, basically.
Welcome to Statesman.
As your American cousins, we'll be working side by side.
Skipping rope?
It's a lasso.
you know, we took English icons of, you know, an English gentleman with their umbrella was the obvious thing to have fun with, and Kingsman, the Secret Service. So on the Golden Circle, I was like, well, what's the American cowboy version of an umbrella? And I thought, dare I say it right or wrong now? So as Jeff said, you guys call it a rope. I think in England we call it a lasso, and in America you call it a lasso. A lasso. So there you go. That's a difference in the culture. We go lasso, you say lasso, blah blah blah. Anyway, a lasso or a lasso. Which one is it? I say lasso. Okay, a lasso is. I felt let's have fun with that and turn that into the most kick-ass weapon. And so I thought, well, imagine it got electrified and it could cut through, and so that became the first thing. And then we thought we'd have the whip, which when it cracks, does a sonic boom. And then I thought, what about baseball bat that becomes a minesweeper, hand grenades, which are baseball. So we just took all those American icons and turned them into weapons.
I'm probably one of the younger statesmen as far as experience-wise, and definitely the problem child. I'm always getting, I'd say, reprimanded by Champ.
I consider my relationship, Champ's relationship with Tequila, Channing Tatum's character. So it's a bit of a parental, kind of a father-son, but also, you know, good buddies, best friends. We, you know, our backstory is quite complex. Don't want to give too much of that away, but we've had a lot of adventures together.
Jeff Bridges, oh my God, he's super amazing. He's the head of the statesman of the organization that I work for, and he's a bigger-than-life kind of character on screen, and he is in life too, and he brings that to the movie, which is fun to watch.
Kind of got a bit of a save the world situation here.
Say goodbye to the Kingsman.
As your American cousins, all statesmen, resources are yours.
Let's get started.
科林佛斯、朱利安·摩尔、泰隆·艾格顿、马克·史壮、何利·贝瑞、查宁·塔图、
You just made it personal.
杰夫·布里奇、
You want to slap your mama right there?
金牌特务机密对决。
欢迎继续回到电影娱乐报。金牌特务上一集华丽的视觉震撼，像是头颅爆炸那些很疯狂的画面，在这一集通通不会有。但是因为导演马修·范恩准备了更猛的桥段，不但在特技与动作场景方面力求真实，像是飞车追逐、西部牛仔的绳索，或是超大音速世界的场景等等，都来真的。而且片中超威的武器，像是雨伞、皮箱或是棒球、香水等等，每一项也都让人好想要拥有。相较于金士曼用西装店来当掩护，美国的施特曼则是以酿酒为主要产业，所以电影里对波本威士忌也有不少介绍哦。光花絮就让人目不转睛，主角呢还小秀了一段台语，精彩花絮一起来欣赏吧。
I think what Matthew's tapped into is very, very exciting in terms of the people it's attracted to the project. It's a very rich, detailed world. The characters are very three-dimensional, but they're also quite major key, and they're a real joy for an actor to play, which is why the likes of Channing Tatum and Jeff Bridges and Halle Berry and Pedro have all signed on, presumably. They're fantastic characters, and what they have done with them in terms of bringing them to life is amazing. What Jeff Bridges has done with his character, Champ, is hilarious and amazing, and so in keeping with the very definite style that we established in the first one. It's really, really, really exciting, and especially for me and my, you know, small part in the great machine of it, to think that actors of that caliber want to come and join our party, as it were, is amazing.
And now on Channel.
Golden Circle proudly presents.
Hello, Channel 4 viewers. My name is Poppy Adams, CEO of the Golden Circle. Sorry to interrupt. I know the Kingsmen say manners maketh man. Well, I say Poppy maketh mayhem.
Today marks the beginning of a new age.
Say goodbye to the Kingsmen.
Wait, I'm gonna show you. I don't think it's familiar type at all. You know, I mean, I really don't. I mean, I don't know. I think that's what was interesting to me, is that it didn't seem familiar. It didn't seem like something that I had seen before. She seemed completely kind of, you know, unto herself. I mean, I'm sure that Matthew and Jane were working from different kinds of iconography, and they obviously had things that influenced them. But for me, what was nice about it was that she seemed like a person who had so completely defined herself through pop culture. That was what was really compelling.
She is, you know, the best and most intelligent, well-organized, run drug dealer in the world, right? And she has taken over she has monopolized the drug business, but she still, as any drug lord is, stranded, hiding in Cambodia, because it's not legal anywhere, so she's got everything but nothing. I always think that's quite an interesting point. I liked a villain that you have everything, but you know, she's rich, she's got anything you can think of, but she hasn't got freedom, and without freedom, it doesn't matter how much money you have.
Det här är jättegott.
I think we should do you the favor of conversing in English. Yes. So, tell me, Eggsy, what do you do?
I work for Kingsman, the tailors, Your Highness.
I must say, you are really not as I expected.
Fucking spectacular, eh?
It all feels kind of grander, more epic, more ambitious. You know, it's the fantastic things in terms of making it. And trust me, I know because I'm there, is that we haven't rested on our laurels. If anything, it feels harder this time. We're challenging ourselves even more, you know, wherever possible. Myself and the other actors involved in the set pieces, you know, are trying to do as much of it as we can. I'm very proud of a shot in the opening sequence where I jump off the window of a car and land on top of it in pursuit. I can put my hand on my heart and say that is me.
I got to grab everyone's attention, and I just thought, well, what's the best way of doing it? And again, when I was running scripts, always, you know, I like to start. I thought we'll start in gold, golden circle, gold. We'll put, oh, it's the Kingsman sign. Oh, there he is. Okay, it's all nice and composed and relaxed, and then suddenly you're hanging on for dear life for 6 minutes, and then the other thing that made me laugh was that's the fight, and I thought, well, then let's do the ultimate car chase, but with a cab. And I said, but how are we going to make it so it's different? I thought, well, let's build a cab that can actually do it instead of doing it all CG. So we built this cab. I think it had 680 horsepower. It had, you know, 4-wheel drive, but you can put all the power into any of the 4 wheels, and we can drift it. And so we suddenly built this amazing drifting black cab, and off we went and just design a great car chase. And then I wanted to do, and I thought, let's go underwater and have fun but do it with Eggsy as well, where the car goes on the water, but it's got no windscreen. So it's like, do you really want to go underwater in a submarine that's got a hole in it? No, but he has to.
He does make use of a lot of familiar popular culture themes. You know, when he's done with it, it's his. You know, because he's messed with it, he's subverted it a little bit. So you can look through the first movie and say, I see something of Bond, which is the first comparison people make. But maybe, you know, there's a hint of Austin Powers. Maybe there's a hint of, you know, the Harry Palmer movies with Michael Caine. Maybe there's a hint of Sherlock Holmes, Star Wars. You know, bit of the superhero stuff, and then it has its roots in comic book. But he, in a way, he might shamelessly steal from something, but then he puts a twist on it, which means that I know you know I know this is familiar to you, I know this image is recognizable to you, but I'm just going to mess with it. And we all get it because we've all seen it. We've all seen those comic books. And so I think he's got a real ability to tap into some commonly familiar thing.
He's really my favorite kind of director, one that loves to collaborate with everybody that he's assembled, and has a very strong point of view. You know, he's so steeped in the subject. So he's a great guy to go to ask, details that you're wondering about. He certainly knows what's up. But like I said, he's also open to whatever you have to offer. Different thoughts.
I said to Brad, look, we've got to reinvent cowboy Western style fighting, but at the same time I said, look, we've got to do the barroom brawl, but it can't be the usual John Wayne style smashing everyone up. And he goes, there's this guy called Loop who can do all the gun tricks and all the whips, and Loop Rawlins, I think his name was, and Loop, and he was, I met him, and he was, literally, I thought, oh my God, I've met the real Agent Whiskey. I mean, he literally dressed the part, he's got the accent, and the tricks he could do.
When they handed me a whip to start training on this movie, I was immediately like, oh yeah, no, I know this, and I wasn't terribly afraid, and they were quite excited because I was learning, and they were like, well, you should be putting this gear on and get, your eyes, your arms, and I was like, nah, no worries, watch out, what do you, and then just like, whack, across my arm, this like perfect, broke the skin and everything, mark across my arm, and I realized the kind of damage that a whip can do. It really is a frightening and effective weapon.
Skipping rope.
Jack is a real cowboy, and I would say it's a complete invention of Matthew's. And in getting involved in it myself, when I first looked at the part, he kind of seemed a little bit like a 50s Reagan to me, and I didn't see myself so much as that. And with Matthew and with me in mind for the part, we kind of shaped it a little bit more into the world of Burt Reynolds' 70s kind of throwback. One would only hope.
You couldn't help but be aware of the scale of it, more than anything I'd ever done. Big sets, Poppyland, it really was what it looked like. It was quite something to step onto. Anyone who came to visit that set just thought, wow, I mean, this is not, that's not CG. This is the scale that you're looking at is what we actually had. And a huge amount of time spent on it, because a fight like that, from a technical point of view, is a real mountain to climb. And it was not, we were working with more than one unit a lot of the time. I think we certainly had 3, we may even have had 4. Second unit, split units, stunt units, and I wasn't always sure which one I was going to be on that day. And I didn't know whether I'd be on the main unit with Matthew, or whether we'd be doing some extra stunt pieces that we still needed with a second or third unit. And if I was with a second or third unit, whether I was going to be with these stunt guys or this stunt team. But frankly, I felt sufficiently integrated to the whole thing that whoever I was working with, I had a relationship with. I knew them. We'd been practicing stuff and we'd trained for things. And the surprises only usually came if Matthew was there.
Kingsman is a very characterful, wonderfully anarchic, sometimes disturbing, gory, gross, but incredibly fun world that is still very much finding its feet. And I'm lucky to be a part of it, and hope I continue to be. But it is Matthew, so I could take a bullet to the head at any moment, but we'll see.
大家好，台湾。
I'm Taron Egerton. Kingsman is back. This time it's bigger, it's crazier, and it's even more fun. We have an incredible cast, an insane new villain, and even more outrageous action. Don't miss Kingsman: The Golden Circle. We've got brains, skills, skipping rope.
It's a lasso.
Whatever. It's very American.
Yeah, it is.
以上就是娱乐度100%的《金牌特务》第2集机密对决推荐给大家喽。那之前参加特映会，就连主持人黄子佼看完都说超精彩，全片141分钟是毫无尿点，完全不拖泥带水。就连流行天王艾尔顿强也有参与演出哦。今天的介绍，希望你们会喜欢。我是巧玲，我们下次见喽，拜拜。